blah. Due to changes, stuff got cancelled and we ended up somewhere. So, good evening everybody, my name is Osa and tonight we are playing Euro Truck Simulator and nobody else is around, so I'm going to have a look at the world, see where we haven't been. Surprisingly, we've been to a lot of places. Oh, because we did the we did all the winter stuff. I think I may try and head to Germany then. Let's go external contracts and see if we can find a German one. So, D for Germany. Hamburg. We have already been to Hamburg. Hanover. We haven't been there. Well, since there's nobody else around, I'm going to take a long trip. I have new mail. Why? Are you looking to expand your company?
Are you doing anything yet?
Yeah. Okay, we like to blah blah blah, we're impressed we'd like to offer you a new way to help you visit garage purchase interface. Oh yes, you can purchase garages from anywhere in the world. Okay, whatever. Let's go find our stuff. So, I am not playing multiplayer, and the truck does not seem to be moving. There we go. Normally I make it easy on myself and just drive through the garage, but oh, I do not have... There we go. Reasonable GPS, yes I do. But since we're playing single player, we're going to be playing with traffic. At least I assume we will be. There is the traffic. Should be here. There's the box.
Time to hit the road. Drive safe.
left out of here.
Turn left. Turn right.
Okay. Oops. So since I'm playing single player, there is a couple of mods running. There's the minimal information bar at the bottom of the screen instead of as part of the GPS window. We have realistic graphics modding, real company names, and real gas station names. And that's about all of them. And we're going to be playing with cars.
Go straight on.
I can't hear what the dude said. And we're going to have to fill up with gas somewhere.
Left.
Diesel.
Turn left.
Oops. Yeah. I don't know what it is about Europe. Why their on-ramps only have a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit. That's truly bugging. I mean, that's 25 miles an hour on an off-ramp. Okay. And going too fast again. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, one of the things I discovered about ETS and ATS is that if you take a World of Trucks contract and do not complete it, it's active for every single one of your profiles. Which is a bit different. Ah, good. Gas station ahead. Control is not behaving. There we go. Well, let's see if I can make as much of a mess of this gas station as I did the last one. Yeah. Oh, now the other advantage is we will get some income. I think I've got a couple of drivers. Let's have a look. Truck manager, we have 3 trucks, 2 drivers. So that's a good thing. We will get a little bit of extra money on this trip. Oh, I hate those. Okay, back on the road. Get this truck rolling. We have 10 hours to drive, and sleep will be active because we're playing single player. I do have Discord open just in case any of the normal crew turn up. But I'm kind of on my way somewhere. What's this? Another toll booth. Stuck behind what I used to know as a kid as a cars on, because it has cars on. Two. The oven is warm.
Go straight on.
Well, this doesn't look like a great payout, but we shall see. Okay, go.
Go straight on.
Oh, he's slowing down again. What is his problem? Oh, another toll booth. Alrighty. That's a little bit close. Okay. Beat the car transporter. And got a speeding violation in the process. speed limit is 80. I guess I caught the tail end of the 40 limit out of the gate. But we can roll now. I must admit, haven't been paying much attention to updates on ATS or ETS lately. Do know the sales on, so you can get discounts on all of the packages, or at least most of the packages now. Probably not Washington. But looking at both games, I've pretty much got the DLC I want. I've got the maps. I've got the custom packs on ETS2 for the Scania and is it the DAF? Could get the Chrome trailer, and I think there's another trailer set as well. But outside of that, most of it's paint jobs. Kind of cosmetic, and if you play multiplayer, which usually is what I do play, nobody can appreciate the paint jobs anyway. This is about a 20-minute real-time trip, so we should be rounding into somewhere. Hanover. Round about 9:45 real time, Eastern time. And it smells like there might be some cookies on the way. We're drifting. Ouch. I think from next week I might consider going back to the ETS2 Music with Trucking series I started a couple of weeks ago. It'll be an early evening session where the kids are still up and therefore making noise in the background, so I won't be able to talk. And considering the number of people who didn't turn up this week, I may drop the late evening Thursday trucking session and possibly increase on the number of farm sim sessions we do or something. I thought that was the case. Yeah.
Go straight on.
That's good. IKEA delivery. Yay. Oh, breathe in. Yeah, I know.
Go straight on.
Passing a truck at the same time as I'm trying to slow down. Yay, cats. And somebody's lost a fighter jet. That's probably a little unfortunate. A graphics card? You've just picked up, let's think, ETS2, because you want to see how the Europeans do it. And good evening, Captain Zank. Welcome to the stream. I'm not sure what you are referring to. Is my mic a bit low? It's entirely possible. Oh. Yeah. It's been a while since I checked the volume levels, and that's not to say I don't have kids messing around with the volume levels. All the DLC. All the paint jobs as well. That's a lot. Yeah, I was just saying I didn't bother with any of the paint jobs because obviously when you're playing multiplayer and you can see them. Unless, well, you can only see the ones that you have. Okay, that's fine. You can only see the ones that you have. Thank you. Sorry, just checking the sound levels, so you might have got some echo. Sitting on the metric side of the truck. Europeans sit on the same side of the truck as Americans do. It's just they do everything in kilometres, which is slower. Now you want to drive a British truck with right-hand drive, that's also fun, and even more fun on the continent. But the Brits still use at least some imperial measurements. I think they went to litres for diesel and gasoline.
Go straight on.
But they still use miles per hour. So if you set everything to miles per hour in a UK truck and then drive on, drive over the continent mostly, that gets really confusing. Started in Scotland. Oh, good job. Yeah, if I remember the terms of the common market back in the 70s, there's always been consideration in England for switching the side of the road they drive on, but I think the government did not a survey, a study, and figured out that moving all the street signs from one side of the road to the other and just way too expensive. And then when they joined the European Union, or at that time the common market, and Brussels was saying, oh, everything has to be done in metric, and the British government turned around and said, yeah, we're still sticking with miles because it'll just cost the country too much to repaint all of the road signs in kilometres. Plus, kilometres don't round nicely to miles. So where you've got all these 10 miles to somewhere, 5 miles to somewhere, you've now got 12.5 kilometres to somewhere. And they just said, we're not moving all the street signs, so it's all nice and convenient numbers either, because that'll cost a fortune as well. So they stuck with miles. They stuck with pints of beer because it's tradition. But pretty much everything else had to change to metric. So you buy your fuel in litres. I think for a while you bought your aviation gas in US gallons, which was always a weird one because the US gallon is smaller than imperial gallon by about 4/5. And prior to metrication, whatever it is, Britain did use imperial gallons for everything except aviation gas. But I think eventually I honestly don't know. I think the smaller provincial airfields did eventually start selling their aviation gas in litres. But if you go to an international airport, typically they're selling them in, I think it's usually pounds of jet gas. But US gallons is still the sort of the international trade of aviation. Similarly with the language of aviation. You are supposed to speak English in an aeroplane if you're flying one, no matter which country you're in, which does get messy in some foreign countries. because some air traffic control in some foreign language speaking countries are very anti-speaking English. I mean, you go to somewhere like France, they can speak English, but they'd prefer not to, and all of their local pilots will pretty much stick to French. So you're fighting your way through conversations, and at least with flying within the United States, if you speak English, you understand where everybody is. It's an added awareness thing, listening to other people's radio conversations and being able to figure out where they are. Now, if they're speaking in a foreign language and you don't understand it, then that's a problem. You have to be doubly vigilant with your sort of visual spotting of stuff in the air. However, one country whose native language does not include English, but absolutely insists on all the aviators speaking English, is China. Apparently. And they insist that all of their pilots use English all of the time. And air traffic control. I don't know the reason why that is, but hey, trivia. Do up the volume again. Okay, we're staying straight on. We've already done half the trip already. So, long hauler, did you bother with pro mods, or are you just sticking with vanilla SCS maps? Like the weather's closing in on us. Well, that you understand, but they even insist on all of their general aviation pilots. Not that I consider
Right.
there probably isn't that many general aviation pilots in China, but they insist they all use English as well, which is not something you'll find in guys flying around in Cessnas in France to a great extent. They'll all speak French. Now, obviously, if you're into an international commercial plane, you won't have that problem because you're not in... you're not in the vicinity of general aviation aircraft. However, if you're taking a day trip to France from England in a Cessna, then you are going to be mixing it up with guys who refuse to speak English when they're flying. Oh. I missed the reset of cruise control. There we go. How are we doing? More cookies. So, we're getting tired. We've got just under 4 hours before we need to sleep. Just over 3 hours before we get to the delivery address. So we should be able to drop this load off. Take a nap. It's time 9 o'clock in the evening. It's interesting. Seems to be a problem with the clock at the bottom of the screen. Oh no, that's ETA. Sorry. It is currently something. Six o'clock in the evening, game time. Oh, trouble. Now, based on my knowledge of English roads, ETS2 in England is not particularly accurate. I mean, the cities are kind of in the right place, but the road layouts, no, not really. And I never did very much driving in France. We took a trip to a point just east of Poitiers, which involved driving an English car on French autobahns, or whatever they call them, and that was scary. Especially when you get tired, because you want to do everything, because of where you're sitting in the car, you want to do everything completely wrong, and you're probably going to get yourself killed if you don't pay extreme attention. And that's pretty much the only driving I've done anywhere sitting on the wrong side of the car. America, I do not consider I'm sitting on the wrong side of the car. I'm sitting on the side of the car I wasn't used to when I first came over here. But for the side of the road you're driving on, you're sitting in the right side, the correct position in the car. It's one of the reasons I generally don't have a lot of hassle or a lot of trouble transitioning from a left-hand to right-hand drive. We've definitely got an hour in which to make the delivery. Before we start getting fined for not sleeping. obstructions. What's this? Truck pulled over. No big deal. Another thing in the UK that used to be true was the long distance truckers would fill up their tanks before they came to England, because gasoline in England was so much more expensive than it was on the continent, because the amount of tax in it.
Keep right, and then exit right.
Exit right, okay. Yes, that's happening here.
Exit right.
Okay.
Go straight on.
Oh, it's separated
Keep right.
cloverleaf. Merge here, or is this still separated?
Keep left.
Still separated. Cool. Okay, we're getting tired. But we're nearly there. Now that junction is, I'm guessing, one of their revamped junctions.
Keep right, and then exit right.
And it's far more prototypical than the two-lane highway, one lane
Exit
comes
right.
off and you have a single lane going through that used to be so common. Oh yeah. Don't worry. There we go. And here we are in Hanover. Well, there may be trouble ahead.
Go straight on.
Oh shoot! Red light, red light, red light. Woo! You could really do with those low-level repeaters in some US junctions. Back at the old place I used to work, there was a left-hand filter arrow, and traffic signals were over your head, and during the heights of summer it was pretty much impossible to see the lights, because you had to lean all the way forwards with almost your head on the steering wheel, looking up straight at the sun. Traffic signal was exactly between your face and the sun. And with the low-level repeater,
Get ready to turn left.
you don't have to crane your head up at the sun.
Turn left.
Oh, are we standing here? I guess. Oh,
We
yeah.
are finished.
Okay. Oh, there's a lot of detritus here. Looks like beer grates. Okay, let's... And they're pretty solid. Well, we've got a short frame trailer, so this might not be too difficult. So, in farm sim, I hate trying to reverse the short trailers because they swing out too quickly. There we go. There we go. First delivery done. How much did we make? About €9,000. Not a lot, basically.